There you go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome to the B139. I'm Don Vito. And we got my lady friend right here. Goes by the name of Precious L.Williams. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So before I start the show, I want to let everybody know that, you know, a lot of my teammates, they live far and stuff like that. You know, my man Doc, Callie, you know, Sierra, Kim, Riley, Felicia. So I was like, you know what though? Being that I'm the closest one here, I'm gonna hold it down for the team. You know, the corona thing is real out here. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna hold it down for the team, you know, let them chill with the fam, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep the show going because next month is our 2-year anniversary. We haven't missed one week at all. So, you know, let's clap for that. So, you know, black business, you know, so I'm gonna hold it down for the crew, you know?
Definitely.
So introduce yourself, young lady. Tell everybody where you're from.
My name is Precious Williams. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I live in Brooklyn, New York right now, and I'm a bad bitch with a power pitch.
Wow, that's a hell of an accent too. St. Louis,
it is what it is. St. Louis, Missouri.
Missouri. Okay, so let's the B139. We all about stories and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So let's talk about a little bit. We know you from St. Louis, so how's life coming up in St. Louis?
Oh, it was hard growing up in St. Louis. See, I grew up with an abusive mother and a drug addict father. So I was always either in trouble, getting yelled at, being told I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'll never be anything in life, I'm nobody special, no man's ever gonna want me, I'll never have friends, I'll never be anything but book smart. So that's what my mom used to always say to me. You're never gonna be anything in life.
You'll never be anything but book smart. Book smart is a great thing to be.
It is a great thing to be, but it's also good to be street smart too.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the only way to be street smart is to be in the streets. Right. Yeah. So after being, you know, told stuff like that, so what was your direction? How did you feel about that?
I felt really, really bad. I mean, my mother, if she wasn't yelling at me, she was often just really quiet with me. So I was always on punishment, so I was always in my room. So the only thing you can do in your room is read. And I used to read great stories of people who've done amazing things. And that started me to thinking that I want the same thing too. And when I was 5 years old, I really swear to God breathed into me and said, you're going to be a talk show host. And I was 5.
Wow.
And that you're special. Like even though my mom told me all these horrific things, you're still special. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but at 41 years old, I know what that means today. So yeah.
That's kind of rough to be, you know, growing up like that. Like, cause mental, when you're young, when you take somebody mental,
definitely,
you take everything from them. So how did you combat that?
You know, honestly, when I went to school, that's when I came alive. I was always in trouble for talking. The same thing that I get paid for today is the thing that, you know, got me in trouble. And I used to get paddled. They don't do paddling anymore. But I used to get paddled by the principal because I talked too much. Right. And I was like, if you only knew, no one talks to me at home unless I'm being yelled at. And so I, you know, was the #1 student in my class. I was always good. I could write stories. I was in the gifted and talented classes. But that meant nothing to my parents. Nothing. And so I just had to keep going. And thank God, if it wasn't for my grandmother, Precious Williams, good stop. If it wasn't for my grandparents stepping in when I was 15 years old, I wouldn't be here where I am today.
Are you the only child?
Nope, no, I'm not. I have 3 sisters. My sister who succeeds me, she was light-skinned with green eyes, and so my mom always doted on her and said she was pretty and everything was gonna happen great for her. And so, of course, you know, it gives you a complex. I'm a chocolate chick.
Right.
And so I was thinking, well, you know, maybe I will be something, but maybe I'll just be alone. You know, so I grew up with a little complex about that. I don't have that complex anymore. I still think I'm hella cute now. Yeah.
So let's talk about your educational background. So how did you do in school and stuff like that? So
I was the #1 student in my high school class. I was a battalion commander for the junior ROTC program. And although my mother told me that I would never be anything, I was Miss Beaumont 1996, 1997, which is the queen of my high school for an entire year. Wow. I had a parade in the city of St. Louis, and I used to go to all the other coronations of the college queens. Right. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was voted the queen of my high school. And so voted the queen of my high school. I had a full scholarship to Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia. And I went to Spelman. And I don't know if I made this very clear. I was in the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. So when I got accepted to Spelman, my guidance counselors told me I'd never make it through. They're like, it's cute that you got in. You'll never make it through.
Damn, so everywhere you go, everybody just talking you down. You know?
Oh, yeah. You know, and you would think that people still don't do it today, but they do.
Yeah?
They do. You know, we're in the age of the Instagram models. We're in the age of, you know, everything being fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm as real as it gets.
Right, okay. But, you know, the Instagram model stuff is cool, but, you know, a lot of them Instagram models are broke. You know what I'm saying? They just look good on Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
Or a female like you who went to Spelman, got a full scholarship.
I went
you
to,
know, you write books and all that type of stuff.
Listen.
This is what a man need. A man need a woman that's about her business and, you know, educated and all that. Instagram stuff don't mean nothing, you know what I'm saying?
It really doesn't. But, you know, I don't knock anybody's hustle.
Right.
But, you know, I had a full scholarship to Georgetown University Law Center. So
Talk about it.
I got kicked. So when I was at Spelman, you know, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I pledged. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Eta Kappa chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated with a 3.6 GPA. I was magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, pre-law. And so I went to Georgetown in 2001. I actually moved in the day that Aaliyah died, August 25th, 2001.
Oh, wow.
I was there September 11th, 2001. And so we were taken out of our classes and federal troops were outside of our door because I lived in an apartment right across the street from the school. And the truth of the matter is, I hated law school. I hated it.
It's tough.
Yes, but also I think one of the things that we don't talk about, you know, as people of color, is sometimes you'll be in environments. My parents weren't senators. Mm-hmm. They weren't doctors. They weren't lawyers. Right. And that was a lot of what I was encountering. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, what do your parents do? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was too afraid to say, you know, they don't have an education. I'm the only one that does. And so I was ashamed and I didn't know how to put that forth. And yes, I had a great education at Spelman, but I was so shook that I thought I didn't measure up, even though I had a full scholarship.
What year was that?
It was 2001.
Okay.
It was 2001. So I went away on my birthday, January 22nd, 2002. Didn't come back until March 15th, 2002, and they had kicked me out of school. And so I just did a Facebook Live about that, and I said, March 15, 2002, the dean took lead in kicking me out of school. Took lead. And I said, March 15, 2020, I'm sitting in Greenville, South Carolina, getting an International Women's Award. Wow. You know, but when I got kicked out of school, I really was depressed for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Depressed. Even though I got a full scholarship to Rutgers in New Jersey, law school, made it all the way through, passed the bar on my first try. I really thought that a school determined how far I would go in life. Wow. And so, even though I know a lot of people who've gone to Ivy League institutions and things like that, I really thought that they were better than me. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how God works, and it's funny how time works. Time is a great equalizer. Mm-hmm. And the people that you think are so much better than you, time will even it out. And so, whereas a lot of people went on to be doctors and lawyers and everything like that, I took the route of becoming an entrepreneur. Right. So yeah, I was a successful attorney, and then I had a great relationship that imploded. Mm-hmm. And then I met a very famous Hollywood actor who inspired me to start my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie.
What's the name, the actor?
Can't even give up his name.
Okay.
He's deceased. Everybody hates that I don't give up his name. Some people, y'all know who he is, but whatever. But
it's cool. I
was 327 pounds.
Right.
And he liked what he saw, and I was actually shocked. Like, well, gee, jigga who? Jigga what? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's somebody for everybody.
What? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a good man. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to start a company called Curvy Girls Lingerie because I wanted women who were my size, full-figured divas and plus-size fashionistas. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to feel the way I got to feel every day. Right. You know, I got to feel like Beyonce. Do you know what that feels like?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I would step out. I was like, oh, where the fans at? Where the fans at? You know, and I realized that a lot of people look at full-figured divas and plus-size fashionistas as if we don't matter and we don't exist. You have to have the small waist and the big hips and da-da. Well, what if you're big all over? Right. Don't you deserve love too?
Exactly.
And not only that, you know, when you go to shop for lingerie in that size, and I was a size 28, there was nothing. you want to cover yourself. That's all that they had. And so I wanted to create sexy, stylish, and fashion-forward lingerie for women. And so I did. But let's be honest, I had negative $400 in my bank account when I got started.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I started Intern pitch competitions, and I actually pitched to the producers at MSNBC, and I got on national television.
Wow.
And turned that into $500,000.
So what's the intern pitch competition?
So pitch competitions are competitions where you're in front of investors or you're in front of a general audience and there's money on the line. So whoever speaks the best about their company, you're talking about the story, the financials, why should someone want to invest in a company like yours? What are you saying about your company that really stands out? And so we all know about the tech companies. We all know about cool tech companies, international companies, the Facebooks, the Googles, and stuff like that. But no one had ever done it for plus size lingerie. And so one of the things, since I'm a 13-time champion, meaning I went 13 out of 14 times I came in #1 and I won over $150,000 to get started.
13 times.
13 times, $150,000. So when I tell you the book Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, it's not a book that I just thought this is a cool title. Literally, when I won the Black Enterprise Elevator Pitch Competition on May 16, 2013 in Columbus, Ohio.
Talk about it.
Listen, y'all know who Robert Townsend is?
Yeah.
The 5 Heartbeats.
Absolutely.
MC Light.
Yeah.
They gave me the name Killer Pitchmaster. They said, because you slay all competition.
Wow.
When I went to the Black Enterprise Elevator Pitch Competition, before I even got there, I won a competition in New York, a perfect pitch competition, and there was a judge from Black Enterprise magazine, and she came up to me afterwards. She said, "You're good. You need to be at another level. That's how good you are." She said, "Enter the Black Enterprise Elevator Pitch Competition." She said, "I have no skin in the game. I'm not even going to be there." So I entered. I put a video together, and my good friend Derek Guest of Grill Roll Film Production filmed the video. Sent it in to Black Enterprise, and it was judged in the top 10. So out of hundreds of thousands of videos, they judged me in the top 10. Then we all went to Columbus, Ohio, and Robert Townsend hosted the event at the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs. I think it's called the Entrepreneur Summit. And I remember walking into the space, and I saw Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who is a professor of business at Clark Atlanta University. And I remember him sitting at my table, and something in me told me to get bold, because I'm a bold chick. That's what I do.
Right.
And I told him,
Confident.
I said, "I'm gonna win this competition." He looked at me like, "Oh, okay." I said, No. I'm going to win this competition." He was like, "Okay."
You spoke into
I did,
existence.
but I think part of me did it because I had to force myself to be like, I saw my other competitors and I saw that most of them were like couples and partners, and I said, I'm going alone. And that's how it's been a lot of my life. There have been a lot of people who said, "You're too fat, you're too black, you're too loud, you didn't go to an Ivy League institution, you don't have an agent. Who the hell do you think you are?" And I was like, "I'm the great Precious Williams.
There it is.
I make the impossible look easy." Check it out. And so when I went on stage, okay, so I'm looking at all of the competitors and I'm having this backstage moment. I'm looking at Robert Townsend. I'm like, "Oh my God, he was in the 5 Heartbeats. Oh my God, that's Robert freaking Townsend. Oh my God." And then they called my name. I was #3 in the competition, and that was the night when Scandal was on. Do you remember Scandal?
Absolutely.
The show. Y'all know all the black women were watching Scandal. I said, this is being voted on around the world. So they're watching this live. And so when I said, okay, I'm #3 in the competition. My line number is 33. My lucky number is 3 and 33. Oh my God, I got to do this. So I walked out, and the audience was there, and they had they're filming and everything. And I walked out on that stage, ready. I had on a cream-colored dress. I had to accentuate everything because I had lost weight. I thought I was cute. I thought I was cute. I walked out on that stage and killed it. And they were on their feet when I got finished. And I only spoke for 52 seconds. Right. Because there's only a minute competition.
What'd you say?
I don't even remember what I said. I really don't, but I remember.
You killed it.
Kick ass.
Okay. Right.
So then they narrowed it down from 10 to 5.
Right.
And we're all backstage, and I'm like, it's time to kill the game. It's time to show them who I really am. And so, Robert Townsend called and Curvy Girls Lingerie. I walked back out on stage, and in 22 seconds, I was like, this is mine. This money is mine. It's $10,000. This is mine.
You need that.
So, what? Sometimes, remember the guy said rent is too darn high?
Yeah, oh, that dude. Yeah, he came up too.
Hey, I live in New York. Rent is always too damn high.
Absolutely.
So anyway, you know, when they were calling name second runner up, first runner up, and I'm sitting there like, I know these people ain't better than me. I know they're not better than me. But when he called Curvy Girls Lingerie, I don't know why I assumed he would call my name Precious. So when he called Curvy Girls Lingerie, like I just like tears, and I was like, I'm with the best in black business. And I'm judged as number one. Mm-hmm. So I go backstage, and you know, all the love, and they were like, "You're a bad bitch." I said, "I'm a bad bitch." Mm-hmm. I know how to take that because you know, Grandma would say, "No, you don't." I said, "No, you're a bad bitch," and that stuck in my mind. And I've been called a beast on the microphone too. So I was like, "Okay," it stayed in my mind. And then about 3 years ago, I had in my mind, what if I named a book "Bad Bitches and Power Pitches"? And so I put it out on social media, and people told me, "Hell no."
Let's talk about the book.
Let's talk about it.
Being that you brought it up.
Bam! Okay. So Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. I wrote this book to help women entrepreneurs and speakers learn how to really pitch their businesses, whether you're pitching to media, whether you're pitching to investors and getting that investor dollars. What do you need to be saying at networking events so that when people take your business cards, they actually call you back? Or, you know, how many of y'all are tired of talking for free? Wouldn't you like to get paid speaking engagements? Well, you have to pitch yourself. So in order to pitch yourself, you need to know what to say. So in writing Bad Bitches and Power Pitches and being a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, I wanted women to know that there are 7 branding bitches, from the unstoppable bitch all the way to the numbers bitch. So there's the unstoppable bitch, the flawed bitch, the star bitch, the power bitch, the numbers bitch. There's 7 in here. And as you're reading it, you're going to see the characteristics of each one. Mm. And as you're reading about each one of their characteristics, I even have a coaching corner at the end of each chapter, so you can begin crafting different pitches based on the characteristics of the bitch that you're reading about. And so when I was writing this book, I knew I'm the unstoppable bitch because it doesn't matter what you do to me. I'm like the unsinkable Molly Brown and like the Phoenix. I will always come back. I will always come back and I will always rise higher than I did before. But I'm also the flawed bitch because there are people who look at me and say, well, you're not particularly the prettiest, the tallest, the skinniest, this and that. And I was like, but I am the most transparent and the most authentic. So when you get with me, you know who you're really dealing with, right? There's no smoke and mirrors with me. You know, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't come from money. I've been homeless twice. In fact, 3 years ago I was homeless. And I used the principles in this book to get back and to rise higher than I ever did before. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I spoke at an InStyle magazine event. The week before that, I spoke at LinkedIn's Transform Her conference. I was the Microsoft January 2020 Game Changer awardee. And when you think about it, and people know this about me, on January 22nd, 2017, I attempted to take my own life. Obviously, I'm still here. I'm 41 now. And
time out. What you mean?
So, back in 2016, I had appeared on Shark Tank, season 8, 2016, killed it. Sharks were just stunned by me. I mean, how many big girls are going to walk on with a low-cut canary yellow peplum dress and a big old afro with extreme makeup?
What was you?
I was pitching Curvy Girls Lingerie.
Okay.
I was pitching Curvy Girls Lingerie, and the experience was so amazing. When Robert Hershevik said to me, "You're a master. You're a master salesman." And then Mark Cuban said, "You go, girl." I was like, I don't think I've ever heard that in the history of Shark Tank, but at least it happened to me.
Right.
So when I came back, I got into a big disagreement with my business partner. And the love of my life died, the actor, he died. And I took to drinking, and I didn't feel a reason to keep living. I squandered all my money on alcohol. We were very. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if you'd be talking to me, because without him, how would Curvy Girls have come into existence? Okay. So to lose him, I felt like there's no real reason to go on and to get into it with my business partner. And this is no tea, no shade to her. It was just a very difficult time for me. So even though I could turn it on camera, deep down I felt all the things that my mother said about me. I felt unwanted. I felt like all I am is a character. I'm not a real person. Right. And so I went back home to St. Louis, Missouri, which I don't go home. But I went home, and I was in my cousin's home, and all the medicine I hadn't been taking for my psychotropic medication I hadn't been taking. I took all of it, got a whole bunch of alcohol, and just drank it. And my cousin came home and found me unconscious on my 38th birthday. He called the ambulance, and they said 2 minutes later she was dead.
Wow, that's God.
Praise him.
You
All day, every day.
Hey.
All day, every day.
That's God right there.
Thank you, LaJames. I love you so much for giving me a second chance. And I thank God, because when I woke up, I was so mad. I was like, I can't even kill myself right now. And then after 2 weeks of being in the hospital and getting the right medication, I woke up and I was like, I'm alive. I'm alive. And then the reality hit me. I have nowhere to go.
Right.
I messed up relationships, clients. Like, every bad thing you could have done, I did. And I left people hanging, and so I didn't even know what to do. And so my friend, Miss Joanne Francis with Bright Point Health, she got me back to New York, and she got me into crisis respite. And then I got into the Bowery. You ever heard of the Bowery Mission?
Yeah,
The Bowery Mission.
Before, yeah.
So the Bowery Mission is at 227 Bowery. That's for the men, but they have the Bowery Mission Women's Center, which helps women get back on their feet. And so they had never really encountered a woman like me before. I've lived a big life.
It's like a shelter type of thing.
It's
right?
not a shelter. It's not a shelter. It's a life transfer.
Life transfer.
For the men, it might be a shelter. For the women,
Men's
it's a
right,
life
right.
transformation
Yeah.
program. So what you're doing is you have a Christ-centered program, and you literally from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. you're in classes. You are learning about God. You are building up a community. You're cooking, and you're learning
Stuff to help better yourself.
Help to better yourself. And
Right.
so when I walked in, I'm like, oh, she's the one that was on Shark Tank, But they didn't treat me badly. They were just like, we're gonna start again. We're gonna start again because you were a caricature before.
Right.
Now you're gonna be real. And so being in the program, I was there for 1.5 years.
Okay.
No cell phone, no television, no computers. And so
Therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I looked out the window and I used to think to God, I was like, God, am I ever going to be on stage again? Because I can't see myself just having a regular job. I cannot see it, even though that's what they would love for me to have, a regular job. But I believe I'm built for more. And God said, you are. And I was like, but no one believes me. He said, but I've always believed you. And he said, trust me. And he said, trust me.
Right.
You got this.
So now that you don't got your mind back right, and you got your spirit back right.
Definitely.
So what happened after that?
What happened after that is I left the Bowery Mission Women's Center on September 1st, 2018. I moved into a beautiful blue home in Brooklyn with the pastor of my church. And I moved up on the 3rd floor, and I'm still there today. I was a senior sales consultant at a luxury diamond company, and I quit that position, very lucrative position, but I quit it because I wanted to be Precious Williams, Perfect Pitches by Precious again.
Right.
My pastor and I had a conversation, and he said, you think you can do it? I said, I think I can. He said, even if you can't pay rent, he said, just keep me in the loop. I was like, dang, that's wonderful. So then I started speaking. Yeah, he is. He is Pastor James. He is a good guy. So is his wife and his child. So then I started, I started speaking at
Support this lady.
nonprofits. Yes, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches by Precious Williams.
Exactly.
And I started speaking at nonprofits, and then they started introducing me to big companies like Viacom. And then I started speaking at those kind of companies.
Wow.
And then more companies started inviting me to be trained and train on teaching and sales and stuff like that. And before I knew it, Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, all of that. Like, I couldn't even believe this was happening. And the greatest thing that happened is not just that I wrote this book, which is a #1 bestseller. The best thing is I'm really who I am now. So there's no caricature, there's no faking, there's no phoning. I'm very transparent about what I've gone through. And the reason why I really wrote this is because we have too many women who think they have to look and act and sound a certain way to make it. And I want to show them you don't. You can be who you are, and people will love you more for the truth than they will for the lie.
Right, so that's what the book is about.
The book is about celebrating women being who they are and speaking your truth, and also building your business and getting people attracted to your business. Whether it's your prospect wanting to buy right now, whether it's investors or media, this teaches you how to do it. So if you can't work with me, because my prices are $2 high, this book will help you.
Wow. And you know what? This is needed.
It is very much needed.
Because, a lot of the young ladies out there right now is like, like you said, Instagram and the Facebook and the TikTok and all that type of stuff. They live in a dream on that, and that's not reality. Reality
It's
is
so not reality.
it's about getting educated and about either working for, a good company, a powerful company, or getting your own business.
What?
You got to have a couple streams of income right now. They said to
Really
be
do.
comfortable out here to live.
And this book is even more appropriate for today if you really want to speak truth. One of the things that I've done, not even just writing this book, is we have too many people out there who are sitting at home with their kids and their husbands and their wives and stuff like that, and they don't know what to do. Reading this book will give you tips, tricks, and techniques that will teach you how to still get out there, whether it's you're sitting in front of your computer or whether you're getting on the phone. What do you need to say to get somebody on the phone? What do you need to write on LinkedIn to get somebody to write back to you so that you can present your products and your services? There's a lot of jewels in this.
Step-by-step technique.
It's a step-by-step guide that teaches you how to really pitch yourself, no matter who your audience is. Wow. So in this day of Corona or COVID-19, this book will put you on the path to just not even just surviving, but thriving through this virus. I'm still #booked and busy. I'm an international professional speaker. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm the #killer pitch master. And I teach you really how to slay all competition. And the greatest competition you will ever have is yourself. Because Beyonce always talks about this. She doesn't worry about anybody else. She worries about if she was better than she was yesterday. And that's the thing that that's the only thing that I worry about. I don't worry about if there are other pitch masters out there because they're not Precious Williams. And like Nicki Minaj says, I got bad vision. I don't see competition.
So you're your only competition.
I am my only competition.
That's what I'm talking about.
Definitely.
So what's going on right now? What's your next step after this?
So my next step is I created a program called Pitch and Speak to Grow Rich. And every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., I'm going to be giving live tips, tricks, and techniques for getting on podcasts, for using social media to be your bitch, to make sure people are paying attention to you and wanting to buy your products, your services, your books, your brands, and your businesses. I'm going to teach you how to really pitch yourself. So go to Eventbrite. It's under Pitch and Speak to Grow Rich. Do not let this virus keep you scared and make you think you can't do anything. You have successful Black businesses of color that are doing it big right now. And I want you to be a part of that. So if you're a woman entrepreneur speaker, this is not the time to give up. This is the time to take advantage of opportunities where people are, lowering their prices just so you can see just how great that they can be for you. So if you want to pitch and speak to Grow Rich, every Saturday from 2 to 4, live on Zoom. So go to Eventbrite. You'll see it. I'm under Precious Williams. That's my name. And you'll see 2 to 4 every Saturday. You'll get real tips, tricks, and techniques. Also, in January of 2021, there's going to be the Bad Bitches and Power Pitches live 3-day experience. For 2 days in New York City, you're going to learn about pitching, speaking, branding, marketing, public speaking. You're going to learn about the great things that have to do with business. And on the third day, they're not ready for the third day. On the third day, you're going to pitch live to media. You're going to pitch live to investors, and you're going to pitch live to corporations. So unlike a lot of conferences where you learn from these gurus and then you go home and you try to do it yourself, I'm giving you the opportunity. If you want investors in your company, you're going to pitch live and get a deal on the spot. So if you take what we teach you over those 2 days and you apply them, and it's not just me speaking. I have the greatest pitchers. I have the greatest marketers, branders, and everything. And we're ready for you because we've done all that we needed to do to get to where we need to get, but we want you to get those investor dollars. We want you to be on the cover of magazines, or at least in the magazine, so people can see what kind of products and services you have. You have a new book coming out, you want people to write about it. When Forbes magazine, the real Forbes magazine, wrote about my book in Forbes magazine, and they said pitching is bitching. When's the last time you seen in Forbes magazine them ever curse? They did with my book. And that's why this was a #1 bestseller. So I want you to be able to learn how to really pitch, market, brand yourself, and then you're going to pitch live. So if you want to be a corporate trainer, if you want to be a speaker, you're going to pitch live to the people who can ultimately change your life and give you the kind of contracts that you actually need. So again, the 2 things that I'm truly working on, the things that I want people to know about, is pitch and speak to grow rich, even in the age of the coronavirus. From 2 to 4 every Saturday, you're going to get real actionable tips, tricks, and techniques that have worked for me, and I'm still booked and busy. I'm sitting here in Harlem, and I live in Brooklyn. Is this where I want to be? Exactly, because this is where you need to be. And number 2, the Bad Bitches and Power Pitches live 3-day experience. 2 days of training. The 3rd day you pitch live and you're walking away with a deal. Should you choose to take on what we teach here. And so, again, I'm Precious Williams. My company is Perfect Pitches by Precious, and that's www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com to get more information and details. There's on Eventbrite, and it's also on my website.
Do you have any other social media links?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn as Precious Williams, Killer Pitchmaster. I am on Twitter as at Perfect Pitch P. I am on, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram at Perfect Pitches P, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, facebook.com/Perfect Pitch P. Yes, that's me. Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious and author of the #1 bestseller, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for women entrepreneurs and speakers only.
Can you tell them what podcast show you're on right now?
I'm on The Beat 139 on YouTube Live.
There it is.
Thank you.
You a powerful